We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, May 26th. Tithing A Better Way. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Malachi 3:10. Interestingly, the early discussions of systematic benevolence did not utilize Malachi 3:8-10, nor did writers in the review emphasize the blessings of faithful giving. What they did stress was the fact that systematic benevolence was painless and non-sacrificial in nature. It was, in fact, so painless and non-sacrificial that it failed to support the needs of the growing church adequately. Only gradually did the Sabbatarians come to an acceptance of Bible tithing. Some had apparently thought of it in 1859, but James White was quite certain that what Adventists had in systematic benevolence was superior to the Israelitish tithing system. Things began to change when, in February 1876, Dudley M. Canwright published a series of articles in the Review stressing Malachi 3:8-11, setting forth tithing as the Bible plan for supporting the ministers. He was emphatic that God requires that a tithe, or 1/10 of all the income of his people, shall be given to support his servants in their labors. He went on to note that the Lord does not say you should give me 1/10, but he says 1/10 is the Lord's. Since the tithe was already God's, believers merely returned it to him. Canwright also emphasized the blessings and rewards of tithing. I am thoroughly satisfied, he wrote, that the special blessing of God does attend those who are prompt and liberal in paying their tithe. Beyond personal blessing, the tithing system would succeed in supporting the church, whereas systematic benevolence had failed. At the 1876 General Conference session, Canwright estimated that if all members paid a faithful tithe, the General Conference treasury would receive $150,000 yearly instead of only $40,000. Canwright went on to urge that the General Conference approve the tithing system, which it did in October 1876. From that point on, biblical tithing increasingly became the way that Adventism supported its ministers, and of course, by that time, it had an organizational structure that could serve as the storehouse of Malachi 3 to both collect and disperse funds. Lord, we are thankful for your guidance in even the financial matters of the church, and we appreciate your blessings for faithfulness to those who follow the biblical plan of tithe and offerings. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.